good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Welcome to the Placebo Effect Podcast, episode number 14, the one after the vacation. We're glad you guys are joining us, wherever you're joining us. As always, my co-host and wife, life partner, and best friend. All right, enough. We're getting gross. My number one wife, Shannon, is here.
The only wife. Let's just clarify.
The one that counts. The number one wife. So we had a weekend, and we hope you guys had a great weekend as well. Last weekend, and that's why we had the best of episode. That's why that happened. We hope you guys enjoyed that. It was basically all the fun parts of our previous shows, but we're gonna have a full show today. No interview though. Just to let everyone know before I let you have the mic for a second. Apparently Barry Temple is happening. He's such a busy guy. He's told me that it's going to either happen later this month of September or maybe early October, but he did agree to do it. So I am very, very, very excited to say that at some point, if you guys heard, I think it was episode 10 when I put the pressure on him and I said, I would love to have Barry Temple. I spoke to him and he said, you know what? I can do it, but I'm really busy. So I will do it as soon as I'm available. And that would be awesome. He's the guy that I said we all grew up watching. His animations, he worked on Mulan. He's worked on Lion King. He's a traditional real life animator for Disney, or was a former animator for Disney before they kind of went away from 2D animation and they're only doing 3D now. So he's a former co-worker of mine from Full Sail. Just incredible and an amazing artist. And he's had quite the career and quite the life. And he agreed to do it. So that's going to be awesome when we finally get him on here. But back to our awesome weekend. We went to, what was the name of that beach that you found for us?
It was Waddell Beach, and it was beautiful. It's a hot spot for kite surfing, which I had never even heard of, but was really cool. The surfers attach these giant kites to their surfboards.
They're almost like parachutes.
Yeah, so
awesome.
they like totally go airborne. It was just really cool and peaceful and relaxing. We really needed some time away. And we had a wonderful picnic. We brought some wine and cheese. The place was gorgeous. And it was great. For that picnic. It was really a nice, relaxing weekend. And I hope everybody else had the same
Let's set the scene.
Experience.
Beautiful Pacific Ocean. Sun is setting. We had the beautiful sun in the background going into the ocean. And wine and crackers and cheese and olives,
and we were listening to some nice jazz.
Yep.
And it was so wonderful that it's making my co-host tear up right now.
It's making me emotional.
Yes, he's so emotional.
Thanks for letting him know I got a bug in my eye. I don't know what's going on. You guys would have never known because it's a bug in the eye. To our viewers that are watching us, stop it. We're not broadcasting. We're on the radio. Not even on the radio. We're on a podcast. Anyway. Enough of that. We digress. I did want to say that even though I was resistant to Shannon's idea of episode 12, if you guys haven't heard episode 12, that's the quote unquote weed episode. So if you guys haven't heard the weed episode, I recommend going out and checking that out. The weed episode has become one of our biggest downloads from all over the world. It's pretty impressive and pretty incredible how that went down, but we have a lot of people checking it out. We basically talk about the benefits of weed, cannabis, cannabinoids, the good stuff, the bad parts of the government preventing people from, using it for medicinal reasons and recreational. I mean, is it really supposed to be a class 1? No, it's not. So to kind of we didn't do this on the episode because I just found this recently and I thought this was kind of interesting and fun. So I'm going to have some fun because Shannon had all the weed fun.
I did.
So I'm going to give myself some weed fun. These are the top Google weed searches. In other words, what most people research when looking up weed. Will I get higher if I hold my hit longer? The answer is no. It says that apparently your body absorbs the THC within a few seconds. So holding in the hit for like 10 minutes is kind of ridiculous. You don't have to do that. Don't hold it in for 20 seconds. A couple seconds is all you need. Second thing is If I smoke before exercising, will it increase my endurance? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I was reading some of these, I thought, well, no, if you smoke before you work out, you'll get tired or whatever. Apparently, no, because of the fact that the cannabinoids relax the muscles, and it also kind of doesn't shut down the brain, but it puts it into more of like a relaxed state. You work out, you don't have as much stress, and you actually recuperate quicker. Is weed stronger now than it was in the 1970s? Yes. About 60 to 70% stronger, believe it or not. How did cannabis become so potent? The legalizing actually made it better because now they can actually produce it and separate it and farm it correctly. When people would be getting weed in the early days, it was usually contraband. It would be coming in from Colombia and whatnot, and you don't know what you were going to get with that. You could get seeds, you could get stems, you could get any kind of stuff. Now they're giving you the pure 100% unadulterated bud, which has been hydroponically grown, or here in California, the soil is very, very, very fertile, and they grow some amazing cannabis, some amazing weed. So good stuff. Number 5, is there a way to reduce my high quickly? That's never happened to us. Where we've got, all right, the joke is, I'm sure you guys, if you haven't heard it, I'll put the link in the show notes of that guy that was a police officer, and he actually called 911. So when we get really, really high, that's how we know. That's kind of like our safe word, is we say, we're going to have to call 911. Because, you can smoke too much, or you can have too many edibles and literally be blitzed out of your brain, where you think you're going to phase with the couch or become one with the universe, and it gets pretty scary. So it says, is there a way to reduce my high quickly? It says, drink very cold water, or apparently fruit juices and spicy foods will also kind of break the effect. It'll bring you back to normal quicker. Also citrus fruits. It says the terpness of the fruit helps to stop the unwanted effects. Number 6, where can I find a medical marijuana doctor? Well, I will say, if it's legal in your state, in any of the 30 states that it's legal now, I'm sure that they have a very similar process to here in California. Besides the fact that you can find them literally, Yelp, you can do a Yelp review, you can do a quick Google search. You can even find it online. They literally will, the last prescription, the first prescription that we got when we first moved to California,
went to a doctor.
We saw a doctor, and that was a joke in itself. The guy said, what do you got? You're stressed? Here's your prescription. They gave me a medical license, so welcome to California. Literally, that's what the doctor said. But online now, you can just get a prescription without having to go to a doctor. So it's a lot easier to do that. You literally do it through the internet. You just fill out a form and let them know, I have stress, I have glaucoma, I have whatever. I'm suffering from whatever you're suffering from, and make it up if you have to. Who cares? And then the next thing is, can I make dabs at home? Now, it says yes. Apparently, some creative people have made dabs by putting it between some paper and using a hair straightener. And
I don't know what dabs are.
Apparently, I've never had it either, but I think it's like to make like a concentrate. So someone maybe will tell us, well, you guys are the ones talking about weed, and you should figure out what dabs are. I guess I could have just gone to the website, but I'm too lazy today, and I'm not even high. And what is the difference between indica and sativa? Now, that's something that back in the day I used to think, oh, that's just crap. They're making that up. It's just for a sales effect. Where'd my Snoop Dogg go? Let's bring that back. So the difference between indica and sativa is, I guess what the song will say, Snoop would be smoking sativa. Sativa is what you want to smoke when you want creativity and you want to relax, but it also makes you not get like what they call couch lock, or basically tired and wanting to go to sleep.
Couch lock, I like that.
Couch lock, yeah, where you're just like, oh, I can't even get out of the couch. It happens to us sometimes when we have to ride the couch to the kitchen, to get a drink or whatever. So that indica nighttime, sativa daytime, or indica for sleep, and sativa for everything else. Can I become addicted to cannabis? Well, people say no. I say yes. You can, but no more than masturbation. You're not going to get addicted to cannabis or weed or smoking weed more than you would jerking off. Why that specifically? It's a very similar effect. I mean, it both hits the pleasure centers of the brain.
Yeah.
And you feel good. But so if you're prone to getting addicted to anything, gambling, watching sports, if you have that kind of personality, you're going to get hooked on whatever. If you're addicted to drinking, if you're an alcoholic, you're going to get addicted to weed. Again, 20 years or more since the first time I had smoked it, we get to California and we try it again. And 1, 2. I don't know. This music is making me want to say some stuff, but yeah, you can become hooked on it, but it's more of a mental than a physical. You're not going to get physically addicted to it, but it can be, something that's habit forming if you're a habit forming kind of person. And the last one, number 10, why is cannabis still illegal? The answer to that, episode 12. Check out episode 12. Man, that was pretty self-serving. He should have given us an answer. The answer is the short and sweet. We will say go to episode 12. We have a lot of information in there, but episode 12 kind of covers something that I can kind of say for, encapsulate, which is essentially big pharmaceutical companies, the FDA. There's a lot of companies boycotting it because if cannabis, in fact, which is something that's naturally grown, can actually cure a lot of these conditions and diseases and whatnot, then you're going to put a lot of companies that make a lot of money. Yeah. With like our fake commercial said, with all these crazy side effects, there are no side effects to weed. The only side effects are you're going to get the munchies. So you might get hungry, but as from my reading, it actually increases your metabolism too. So if you avoid the eating part of it, you're actually accelerating your metabolism. Which you actually
can do. I've learned to ignore it. And it depends on
which one we smoke as well. Like if you're smoking an indica versus a sativa, you're probably gonna be more prone to not eating. But if you smoke a sativa, and then you're gonna get the crazy munchies.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I've been pretty good at it. Like it hits me, but I know that I have dinner and I'm full, so it's just that, and I just ignore it.
Now it's time for Florida Headlines, brought to you by Mosquito Nets, Mickey Mouse, and Swamp Ass.
Hey, so Florida Headlines. Just a little tidbit to let you guys know. I did try to look up some goofy California headlines, like maybe some weed arrests and everything. Couldn't find a darn thing. Oh. But search Florida and you wouldn't believe the stuff that comes up. Here's one right now.
Before you even start, these Florida headlines all happened in 2015. So these are very recent. These are from last year. And we're going to read them in order starting in January. And we're doing 6. We do 6 per show. So these 6 all happened like chronologically. So you go with the first one.
Okay. Do you want me to read the date?
Yeah, absolutely.
January 5th.
Beginning of the year.
Florida man puts dragon lizard in his mouth and smacks people with it.
So he puts a lizard in his mouth and he's smacking people with it.
A dragon lizard.
What's a dragon lizard?
I honestly don't know. Do they mean a bearded dragon, maybe?
Or is it the one that has the thing that pops out? It's probably that. It's probably that. The one that has that red thing that shoots out of their neck.
Yeah, I don't know.
But why would he smack people with it?
But why would he put it in his mouth?
Well, how else is he going to swing it around?
He could use his hands.
No, you have to. I don't know what the fuck, man.
Okay, so let's put a little survey out here. We're really trying to get people to email us. So why don't you guys email us, tweet us, and let us know.
Instagram us.
What drug do you think he took to put a lizard in his mouth and smack people with it?
It's always bath salts. It's probably cocaine.
What made him think that was a good idea?
It's probably cocaine.
We want you to tell us.
The second one happened only a couple weeks later, January 27th. All right. Florida man steals $4,000 worth of chicken and ribs. Okay, $4,000 worth of chicken and ribs.
Well, we all know what drug he was on.
What was he on?
He had the munchies, man.
Well, not necessarily, because when have you ever smoked weed and wanted to get out of the house?
Oh, that's true.
Do you think that he smoked weed and decided he needed $4,000 worth of chickens?
I don't know. What would make you think you needed that?
That's a lot of fucking chicken, man. $4,000 worth of chicken and ribs. January 27th is when that happened.
Anyway, I think I need a special song to talk about this one.
Okay. You want a special song?
I want the special song.
All right. Let's see if I can find that.
We got to set the mood real low.
Well, why don't you let them know what's going on?
All right. Well, February 3rd, Florida man who had sex with a dolphin says it seduced him. Oh, yeah. So why don't you guys tweet us, email us, let us know what exactly does a dolphin do to seduce you?
You know they look cute. And it was waving its tail at them. You know how the dolphins do with their tails.
Did it put some lipstick on? Did it
wait, hold on. The dolphin's in drag now? Dolphins in drag?
I don't know. Did it put a bikini on?
Yes. It was a Miami dolphin that put on a bikini.
Oh, gotcha.
Dolphins having sex with people. Again, this is the second one that we had the other guy having the sex with the horse. Well, this one is a guy having sex with a very seductive dolphin. So all right, so let's see here. The next one happened February 15th. So right after. So yours happened February 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Mine happened right after Valentine's. Florida man believes wrestling event is haunted by the ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah!
Well, he might be right.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
If Randy Savage were going to come back as a ghost, where do you think he would want to hang out?
Not Florida.
Definitely a wrestling match. Anywho, March 3rd, Florida man goes on LSD-fueled naked rampage and bites his girlfriend's finger off.
Well, again, it's about follow through. If you're going to bite your girlfriend's finger, might as well bite it clean off. Why bite it a little bit? You got to bite it.
You got to finish the job.
She kept telling him he won't amount to anything. And he's like, look, I'm the best finger biter you know. Bit it right off. These are fucked up Florida headlines. All happened in 2015.
Yeah.
And then the final one, Florida man's church loses its tax exemption because it's really just a nightclub. And we actually saw this in the news or whatever. They were talking about that. Remember that during the day, they would pretend it was a church and people would come in and give donations and all that and have service. And then at night, they would bring out the liquor and the hookers and the strippers. And it was actually a club. So thank you, Florida headlines. All right. So as you guys know, we've been reviewing some movies and TV shows in the past couple episodes, but how do you really know where we stand on certain things if you really don't know our taste? A show that I used to watch when I was a kid was Siskel and Ebert, and at the movies, and that's probably one of the most famous review shows, the one that actually gave us the phrase 2 thumbs up, that came from Siskel and Ebert. And I usually agreed with Ebert. So I knew that if Siskel said, oh, this movie sucks, I don't like it, and then Ebert said it sucks, then I agreed. Oh, it's going to be a bad movie. If Ebert said it was great, then I knew I was going to like it. And a good 99% of the time, I agreed with it. I would literally go see a movie. Now, many times, if it was something fantasy related or whatever that I knew I was going to like, I would go see it regardless. But many times, if they said it was going to be terrible, I avoided it. So how can you guys know where we stand? Well, I had the idea of we're going to give you some movies that we like, but instead we're going to tell you the movies that Shannon likes that I don't like, and the movies that I like that Shannon doesn't like. And then we're going to tell you the movies that we both agree on. And then that way, whenever we review a TV show or a movie, you guys kind of can side with one or the other. Or I agree with Angel, or I agree with Shannon, or I disagree with both of them. And I'm sure that's going to happen in certain cases. So without further ado, I'm going to give you some movies.
And the Oscar goes to...
Some movies that Shannon likes that I hate. So I'm going to do the first one, which is Resident Evil. She loves Resident Evil. Anytime it's on TV, I want to see Resident Evil. Whenever there's a trailer for Resident Evil, this is the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies that honestly, I think there's been like 12 of them. I don't even know anymore how many there are. It's a ridiculous number of sequels, and each one subsequently worse. So Resident Evil is one that I absolutely hate. What's one that I like that you hate?
So I feel like we should defend why we like it.
Okay, you can defend it. That's a good point.
So one of the things my wonderful husband, he brought up Siskel and Ebert. He critiques the movies like a true artist and movie critic. Okay. So I have two separations. I can critique the movies that way. And there are some movies that, some independent films that you look at like that. And then there are just some cheese factors that it hits all the right cheese buttons, and it makes me happy, and it's bad and ridiculous, but you still enjoy it. So that is why I like Resident Evil. I like zombie movies. I like Mila Jovovich because she's a strong woman who kicks ass no matter how ridiculous it is. I like to see that. And I like zombies. So go figure.
Okay. I can give you that. And again, I mean, there is each movie does have a little bit of a thing where you can be like, okay, that's okay. But in many instances, especially the Resident Evil movies, for me, it's just too much. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So one movie that I like that you don't like is what?
Ex Machina.
Okay. And why is that?
I don't remember a ton about this movie. This was, it had an interesting story, but I guess if it doesn't have the outcome I like, it pisses me off.
Okay.
So that's kind of what happened with this movie.
So not to be hoity-toity, that's an easy one to kind of stand behind for me, because Ex Machina, aka Deus Ex Machina, the machinations of God. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Now, again, once we're done through our list, if you guys agree with Shannon, then avoid it. But if you guys agree with me and my taste, then it's at the top of my list of good movies that came out last year. It's an independent movie. It won all kinds of effects awards for the special effects. And that's not even why I like it, because something that I've said in the past, which is, I guess, one thing that would differentiate me and Shannon, is that even though I do have a degree in graphics and computer animation and stuff, I don't go see a movie for the effects, because the effects should be the least of the problems. Like back in the day, and I'm talking about, even 90s or even early 2000s, you would say, oh, that looks like a really great movie about aliens, or it looks like a really good movie about zombies or whatever, because the effects look good. But nowadays, all the effects are going to look good. The effects, they have to go out of their way or have no budget for the effects to look bad. Even TV stuff is starting to look really good.
Yeah.
Ex Machina, it's not about the effects. Even though the effects are incredible, it's about the story. It's about a guy creating life. He creates a woman, and some guy has to give it the Turing test. This is all in the trailer, so this is not spoilers, and determine whether it would pass as a human. And that's where the movie kind of goes off. And also beyond that, it kind of examines, well, what is it really like to be alive? What is it like to be human? What are the real qualities that make us people? And are the people in the movie good? Are they bad? Are they shitty people? Are they good people? And that's for you to, make up your own mind when you see it. So that's why I justify Ex Machina. And it was, and again, it isn't for everybody. I will understand why she didn't like it. And now that I've gotten kind of used to her taste, I'm like, well, this is a movie that I'm not even going to recommend to see together, because I know that she's not going to like it or whatever. Certain movies like that are going to be, another one that I forget was the one that we just saw with the kid, The Midnight Hour.
With the kid.
Yeah, with the kid, with the powers. The Midnight Hour that we saw recently.
Oh, yeah.
It had Zod as the father, and then it had the kid that was like blasting light out of his eyes and whatever, and you don't really know what's going on with him till the end. That's another one that's really, really, really good, and it's an independent film, and I don't really think you cared for it too much.
I fell asleep.
She fell asleep through most of it, and I love the crap out of it. So another one that you like, which I really do not care for, and this is a big one because this one has made a lot of money, but again, money and effects for me are not the, basically the representatives of quality. So this is one that made a lot of money. It's a real famous movie, had a lot of famous actors in it. Armageddon. Armageddon is like, it was almost made for TNT or USA to play it on Sunday afternoon at 3:00 when there's no football or anything else for them to put, and they just have to fill time. Like, I know I made a crap ton of money. I know I'm probably going to get all kinds of hate mail, or people are going to say, are you crazy? Armageddon was the shit. Armageddon was the shit. It was the shit.
It hits all the cheese factors again. It's funny. It has endearing characters. It has the feel-good, yay, American one. He gets all hung up on the science of it. That wouldn't be possible.
It's not even the science. It's the
hits
science of it, and it's the fact of what's his face. The Michael Bay factor of the characters are two-dimensional. They're not real in any sense of the in any sense of the imagination. Like, they're all just, they seem fake. They don't seem real. They're not grounded. The NASA guys are like gung ho. It's so gung ho, over the top gung ho. The heroes are superheroes, and I mean, I don't know. I just, again, anything, and Michael Bay, anything Michael Bay, for the record, anything Michael Bay, I don't really care for.
Yeah.
And oh, you're just hating on Michael Bay. No, I've seen a lot of Michael Bay to not like Michael Bay. So.
All right. So the other one that we just saw, and I mean, I kind of liked this one. It's called The Lobster. And again, it's an independent film.
Delicious. A little bit of butter with your movie.
And what happens is
Cheddar Bay biscuits.
People check into this, I don't know, it's almost like Hotel California. And if they don't fall in love with someone and pair up by the end of it, then they have to choose an animal that they're going to turn into. And the subsequent story from there. So,
and Colin Farrell chooses a lobster because he says that they live a long time and that they mate for life, et cetera, et cetera. And they tell him good because everyone usually picks a dog or whatever. So, so the movie is it's really weird. It's really out there because they're going to turn you into a lobster. They're going to turn you into an animal. But that's where I like it. The same thing that you like cheese factor, I like quirkiness.
Yeah. I actually kind of,
I like quirkities.
I came around to this one.
I like quirkities. I like quirky comedies. I like P.T. Anderson.
Yeah.
And Wes Anderson, forget about it.
This one has interesting themes. So I didn't hate this one. I wouldn't have watched it if you didn't want to see it. It does really make you think. It is interesting. It's quirky. So I wouldn't say that this one I did kind of like once I was forced to watch it. So.
Well, another one that I've seen, these are all movies that we some of them we've seen together, some of them we saw when we weren't together, such as Con Air.
I love Con Air.
Con Air.
It's so dumb. It has the best quotes.
Cameron Poe.
And the funniest thing is the stupid diabetic.
Help us, Lord.
Oh God! With like the 40-inch horse needle on this giant syringe,
and the bullshit,
it was so ridiculous.
It was just ridiculous. They did the diabetic wrong, but besides the diabetic, come on,
Cyrus the virus.
He's got the whole world in his hands.
I love that.
Yeah, so that was terrible. The next one that I do not care for. Well, actually, you have to give me one because I just said
my turn.
Yeah, I just said Armageddon.
For me, now I'm going to get all the haters.
That's right.
I never cared for Napoleon Dynamite. I never could sit through the whole thing. Just couldn't do it.
That dance sequence alone.
The dance sequence is pretty funny, and I did imitate it for Angel today. He was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
That was pretty bad.
What is that?
That was pretty bad.
I did my people justice with that dance.
That was pretty awful. And talking about dances, Burlesque with Christina Aguilera and Cher. She's laughing because she knows these are cheese filled. These things might as well be cheese doodles. They might as well be jalapeno poppers.
Burlesque
cheese filled.
is so bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's bad.
But it's so bad.
It's so bad. It's bad.
It's so bad. I love it. Here's the thing. I love Christina Aguilera. She sings amazing, and I love the music in this, and I love the dance sequences. I love stupid, cheesy dance movies because I love to dance. So I can't help it. If it's on in the costumes and the music, I'll sit and watch it. And the story is like the dumbest thing in the world, but I'll sit and watch it. So for you, okay. So
more hate for you. You know it's coming on.
I know it.
Here it comes.
I really don't. I've seen the Batman movies and
the Nolan Batman.
Yeah, the
movies
Nolan Batman movies, and yeah, I enjoyed them and they were okay. But I'm not a huge fan. Like I've seen them and I don't need to see them again. Not a big fan. Whereas my wonderful hubby, if Batman is on, he's gonna watch it again.
You know, I own it on Blu-ray, but even then, why so serious? You know, I got these scars. My father was a fiend. Those movies are amazing. First of all, the Nolan Batman movies are incredible. They kind of set the bar. And right now, I think they're the only things that are garnering any love for DC. Because Suicide Squad, even though it's made a shit ton of money, people don't really care for it. It's made a lot of money because it's a spectacle and because it's got Will Smith and all these people. And they were like, well, we're going to go see it. There's really nothing else that's been that was like the last summer movie or the last big movie. So it's made a lot of money. I think it's made like $700 million worldwide so far. Yeah. Which is good because Batman versus Superman like tanked pretty good. And that got all kinds of hate. Batman versus Superman. Don't even get me started. Well, you know what? Get me started.
No, we've talked about it like 40,000 times.
Real quickly. No. Character assassination. Total shit. Nobody, like, Batman is killing people. Superman is sad. Everyone is mopey. It's like the emo version of these superheroes. Even Wonder Woman's in it for like 5 minutes and she was great. But the rest of it is like super depressing. It doesn't have to be dark for it to be taken seriously. And the Nolan movies were dark on the outside, but Batman was hopeful. You know, Batman was hopeful. Michael Caine's Alfred was hopeful. You know, they were like, you know, you're going to go out there, you're going to do good. It wasn't like, oh, I'm murdering people, I'm assassinating people. So that was shit. But yeah, the Nolan movies, come on. I don't even really have to kind of defend them. I know you don't really care for them, but they're works of art. And Heath Ledger's Joker is amazing. And he got the postmortem Oscar for a reason. He was incredible. Unlike Save the Last Dance. That's another one that we mock. I sit there and I do the moves like Julia Stiles, the swinging back and forth, the goofy moving back and forth. She's a ballerina, but she's got to learn. She's got to learn about being from the streets, about being one of the regular people, because she's too hoity-toity. She's too pretty. She's too white. So we're going to pair her with an urban youth, a young black guy who's going to teach her how to really dance and move her body the way a white girl should. It's ridiculous. That movie's ridiculous. And that one we did see together because I remember that was on cable and we watched it and I was like, I'm sorry.
I love dance movies. I've seen them all.
Okay.
All of them. All the step-ups. Seen them all.
Go for it. Let them know what's the next one.
All right. I really am going to get all kinds of hate.
Well, you're asking for it. These are the movies that I love or that I really care for, that I really like a lot, or that I technically I would stand behind them and say I do love them, and she just doesn't like.
Yeah. So this is a huge one.
The next one was the number.
Yeah.
I think it was the number 2 movie. I think it's the number 2 movie in the box office, or number 2 or number 3. It was like the biggest movie last year. And we're talking about the original for me. And also I did care. I like the remake, but I cared more for the original. Yeah. But go ahead. Let them know.
It's Jurassic Park. I've seen them all. I saw them once. That's all I needed.
We spared no expense.
I guess to give people a little insight to me. So
welcome to Jurassic Park.
So I guess my issue with it is that how I just find it how stupid to create this place with giant, razor sharp, huge dinosaurs that can kill people because it's going to happen. So I can't wrap my mind around, we're doing this. We're doing this for shock factors so we can rip people apart and do stuff.
It's not really that. And it's funny that you go into that.
So just like that and the climbing the Everest.
Well, that's
stories,
different.
climbing the mountain.
Climbing Mount Everest, I agree with you.
Yeah, like this gets my anger going so high. Like
The creation of the
why
dinosaurs is inevitable. That's going to happen. They're working on it. They're literally working on it. And
I
it's gonna
guess
be
when I can
inevitable.
see a big giant disaster at the end of it.
But that's not the
it just
point.
makes me
But
mad.
that's
Well,
not
it
the
makes me
point.
mad.
I get what you're saying.
Let me finish the Everest thing because
Go
this is
for it.
funny. So
Which I don't like.
what is that movie?
Everest.
Okay, so Everest. So this just pisses me off to no end. You're going to go climb a mountain where people die all the time. Nobody can come get you. The weather is too bad.
Well, you're not designed for. You're going literally.
Yeah.
You're going above.
Yeah.
You're going at like plane
Yeah.
level, like 30,000 feet or
So
whatever.
you're watching this movie, and it's based on a true story. And one of the scenes, I haven't seen the movie, but one of the scenes in the previews is he's saying
It was on
goodbye
HBO
or
the other day.
whatever
We saw part of it.
to his pregnant wife. Now, what kind of an asshole do you have to be to go climb Mount Everest when your wife is expecting a baby and you're putting your life at risk? I'm sorry.
And I didn't like it one bit.
Yeah, that's right. It just makes me mad.
Well, I agree with you. In terms of the Everest, I agree with you. But in terms of the Jurassic Park, yeah, shit goes bad, but
Yeah.
it's like we're not creating the park for shit to go bad. They just, it's hubris. They're overzealous. They think, oh, we can control nature.
Yeah.
And as what's his face says, nature finds a way. You can't create something from, way back in the past when humans were not around and think that, oh, just because we have guns, we're going to be able to handle these guys. And then the new movie was even more ridiculous on that end because they were literally creating dinosaurs that didn't even exist. They were genetically engineering bigger monsters, crazier monsters. So, and then the last movie, I think for both of us, is Jimmy Flower Legs.
We're telling people about Jimmy Flower Legs.
We're telling people about Jimmy Flower Legs because tonight when we were having dinner, we actually started watching it. It's actually called The Odd
Life of Timothy Green.
The Odd Life of Timothy Green came out several years ago, and it just became a joke between us because it was, a kid grown. It's a Disney movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it came out, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago.
It's
been a
old.
while. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's old.
Came out a couple years ago, and it's a movie with Jennifer Garner and
Some guy.
And not some guy. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's a good actor. The guy who was the Pharaoh in Gods and Kings, and he was the guy who was in everything. He's been in a bunch of shit.
I just don't know his name.
I forget his name. He's a really good actor and a director. And so they can't have kids, and they grow this kid in a garden, and they're surprised. We literally watched like 20 minutes of it when we were having dinner, just because we've been joking about it for so long, and we knew that we were going to do this segment today. So Johnny Flower Legs is actually what we started calling him because we couldn't remember his name because he has like leaves on his legs.
Yeah.
But anyway, we disagree on that one. So let's get into the movies that we actually do like before we actually review anything.
Okay. So we both adore The Godfather 1 and 2. Great movies. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen them. Every time I see it, I find something new, some scene set up. Like, for instance, when Luca Brasi gets killed, they do the shot through the window, and you see, like, there's etched in glass a fish, and one of the messages that they send to the family is fish wrapped in newspaper.
It's
and
a
that
Sicilian
means,
message. Luca Brasi
Yeah.
sleeps with the fishes.
So just things like that you catch every time, just the nuance in it and the camera angles and everything. So now I'm being all the arty critic.
My son, I didn't want this for you. I wanted you to be Senator Corleone, President Corleone. I didn't want this for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to make him an offer I can't refuse.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Godfather 1 and 2 we love, and then anything Star Wars we've even the prequels not so much. Definitely the original trilogy. The prequels I could say I can take Attack of the Clones. I like Revenge of the Sith, and forget Force Awakens is just incredible. We love Force Awakens.
Yeah.
We have it on Blu-ray, and I have all the other ones on Blu-ray as well. I love the original trilogy, every single one of them, even if it's on TV with commercials. I will watch it. The other ones that we do love are the Star Trek films, the originals, and even the new remakes. We like those as well. So we did review Star Trek Beyond, and that was great. And even the original ones with, the original cast, Kirk and Spock and all those guys. Love those movies.
Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Big fantasy. I'm a huge fantasy nerd.
Run, you fools!
Yeah, I loved Lord of the Rings. Everything was beautiful. All the costumes were beautiful. And it was, revolutionary. That was the first time we'd ever seen a movie like that. And the first time I think you really saw CG to that level with using the armies and everything like that. That was pretty cool.
And don't forget
Schmeagol.
Schmeagol. It's mine. I need the ring of power. It's the master wants it. No? Yes. Give it to me, wriggling and raw.
And let's not forget all the Marvel movies. Marvel is batting 1,000. Even the ones that she wasn't even aware of, like Ant-Man, things like that.
Yeah, I loved all of them.
Ant-Man was incredible. All the Captain Americas got subsequently better. Avengers was awesome. Even Age of Ultron, which people kind of dismissed, they didn't care for it as much. It's because the bar has been set so high that you're like, well, I didn't like it as much as the first one or whatever. It was still great. It was on recently and I saw it, and it wasn't as bad as I remember it. All the Thors, all of them, pretty much all the Marvel movies, and the new Spider-Man movie that they're going to make in association with Sony. I'm already buying my ticket. I'm so excited. I know that's going to be amazing. Spider-Man Homecoming is going to be incredible. And Doctor Strange is another lesser character, which not many people know. And even me, that I'm a big comic book nerd, I'm not as familiar with all his powers or everything. And I'm excited for Doctor Strange. So all the Marvel movies, The Hunger Games.
I love The Hunger Games.
You read all the books, and we had to see all the movies as soon as they came out.
Yeah. I can watch The Hunger Games over and over again. And funny enough, my love, we did not put Harry Potter on what we both love. And we both
love Harry Potter. You've read all the books. We have all the movies on Blu-ray as well.
In fact, it was on TV on the weekend and I'm watching it, even though we have all the movies, but I'm watching it on TV with commercials.
Mr. Potter, what are you doing?
Mischief managed. So finally, I'm going to do it as Harry Potter for the rest of the show.
Oh, okay.
Hermione, are you going to tell them about the movies you like? I've also got one more here. We've got Dawn of the Dead. Is that about zombies?
It is about zombies.
Well, tell them about it.
Wow.
I think your favorite part is the elevator part.
It is. It is. My favorite part is the song. The crazy song. And then they play the crazy song in the elevator.
Get down
with the sickness.
You gotta get down with the sickness.
Yeah.
Wakakakaks. And then we've got the Pixar films, again, batting 1,000. The only Pixar movie, and I am semi-ashamed to say it, but not really, I've seen every single one in the theater except for the second Cars. I like the first Cars. I thought it was great, but the second one I thought they're just making a sequel because they made a lot of money, and it's one of the ones that has sold the most toys for them because little boys want to have more cars. Of course, it sold a lot of toys, and that's why they had a sequel. But we love Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, Brave.
Was Up
all of it, babe. Come on, you can tell
Up
by the
was
character
awesome,
design. Up was amazing. It has probably the best nonverbal.
My name is Doug, and I love you.
Yeah, the best nonverbal love story encapsulated in the first 10 minutes of a movie. You get the full story. There's no dialogue. It's all done through images, and it's heartbreaking, and it's incredible. So, spoiler alert, the movie came out 7 years ago.
Yeah.
We have Planet of the Apes, the remakes. And of course, let's not forget Ted.
I don't understand. 35 years old and you're still scared of a little thunder.
I am not.
Thunder buddies for life, right, Johnny?
Fucking right.
All right, come on, let's sing the thunder song.
All right.
When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared. Just grab your thunder buddy and say these magic words. Fuck you, thunder, you can suck my dick. You can't get me thunder, cause you're just God's farts. Hey, Laurie, can you set the alarm for 11 a.m.? I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow.
Oh, I love
Besides
that.
the fact that my lovely and beautiful wife is from Massachusetts, and we do have a Massachusetts word of the day, and Ted is kind of making all those voices. But come on, you've got a
What's
beautiful...
your name? Nikki Misty.
When they're doing the name game. Yeah.
Tammy Lynn.
Tammy Lynn. I couldn't figure that one out. I should have figured that one out. Tammy Lynn. That's a crazy one. We should just probably smoke weed and stay home and hang out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, man.
Well, that was an impromptu Mark Wahlberg. Not bad. And now with that, it leads us perfectly into, now that you guys know where we stand, we're going to get into our entertainment review.
And now it's time for the TV, movie, and entertainment review. Brought to you by Texaco and Proposition 215.
So the only show that's really on currently, once the season starts up, luckily it's September, so this entertainment portion of it is probably going to grow as the TV shows start to come back online. The first one that we're watching right now currently in its what is it? It's second season is Fear the Walking Dead. And I was a huge Walking Dead fan, and I introduced it to my wife, who I knew was a zombie fan, and she loved it as well. And now we're watching the young stepbrother, the young stepbrother trying its hardest to be as cool, and for me it's kind of failing. She loves it to death. I like it. I'm not loving it. I like it.
It's getting better,
but it's to me, I don't know. What do you think so far of season 2 so far? They're like 4 episodes in. I can probably look at it and see where we're at. But
yeah, the first couple, first of all, the first season we were like, oh my God. And it was hard to connect to the characters. And
the first season we wanted all the kids to die.
Yeah, we were literally like, please eat these kids.
The zombies, please eat this kid, eat that other kid, when they were just being obnoxious with the destroying people's houses and just not listening to the parents and
it was
just
hard
being
to
little assholes. And we don't have kids, so obviously we're a little bit protected from that experience. So we're not I guess desensitized. Whenever we see kids, we're like, come on, man, be an adult. And they're doing the kids, realistically. I mean, if my niece acted like that, I'd be smacking her around. But if you're listening, Ariana, sorry, I wouldn't be smacking you around. I love you. But seriously, the kids are like, I don't want to come. I don't want to do this. One kid just took off.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to hang out with my parents. So, spoiler alert, if you guys aren't watching it, it's a good time to start watching it. It's a pretty good show. I'd still say put my money on Walking Dead, which we're absolutely waiting for, and that's going to be exciting, and we're really looking forward to who the heck Negan
is.
No, who he is, no, who he killed.
Yeah.
Which is, they keep alluding to it, and they, we know from the comics who it's supposed to be, but are they going to really follow through with that? I don't know. Who knows? Anyway,
I think when the Fear of the Walking Dead came back with the mid-season second half, then, we started to connect with the characters a little bit better. This season, the first couple episodes were really kind of fillers. They didn't really go very far, but the last episode, it got really exciting. And they've actually developed the teenagers, like the daughter, Alicia. At first, we were like, please, somebody eat her. She's awful. And she really has come into her own and is becoming a strong character. We know I love a strong woman character that kicks ass.
I love a strong kick-ass character.
And so she's being really cool. And I don't know. They're starting to develop it. Victor Strand is a really interesting Coleman Domingo, awesome character.
Awesome.
So yeah, they're moving along. It still doesn't compare to The Walking Dead. But I don't know if they could do a spinoff that compares to it, because they've already set we had never seen anything like that before Walking Dead.
And spoiler alert, if you didn't see the first season, we're going to spoil it right now. We still don't know what's going on with Daniel. Ruben Blades.
Yeah.
Great Ruben Blades, which was one of the best parts of the first season.
He was our favorite character.
He was probably
from
our
the
favorite
get-go.
character. He's so cool. He just commands the screen and you just want to pay attention, and you're always wondering, what is he thinking? What is he going to do? And then, death off screen, which means he's probably not dead. That's what we're hoping. At least if you don't see a body on TV or in a movie, they're usually not dead. So at least that's what I'm hoping for. And with that, we're going to go right into...
And now it's time for the advice section. Sit back, relax, and listen to us, because we know it all.
So we're going to go right into our Yahoo Answers. Yahoo Answers Let's see here. All right. So the first Yahoo question or Yahoo answer question is for you, Shannon.
Okay.
What do people who don't drink do on the weekends? So apparently this guy doesn't know what to do with himself if he doesn't drink.
Smoke weed, have sex, eat, watch TV, work out. Sound good?
I don't know. I think drinking on the weekend is pretty good. You can have a good time. You can just have a couple shots of tequila.
Yeah.
Some Jaeger.
Sleep. I forgot about sleeping.
You have Jaeger and vodka.
Jaeger's
and
awful.
You sing.
Jaeger's an abomination.
You sing with your friends.
Yeah. Where did you find this?
That's just a girl singing a song.
Yeah.
She may or may not have been overserved. We don't know. We're not here to judge.
I don't know. I think people who get drunk and want to sing usually want to sing something really stupid like Freebird.
What? Now Freebird is stupid? How dare you?
No,
right,
Freebird is great, but it's really bad karaoke.
All right, what's the next Yahoo answer?
Would it be considered kinky to videotape yourself having sex?
Kinky, no. Difficult, yes. And not because of why you think. I'm going to say difficult because I don't know if they still make videotapes. Like remember we were talking the other day about like those big cameras, like how, whatever show that was, and the guy was carrying a VHS camera.
Yeah. It was like as big as the newscaster cameras.
It's essentially, the thing was like, I remember when I was in high school, I was in the AV club or whatever. I was that nerd in the radio TV class or whatever. And you would carry this big ass camera, probably weighed like 6-7 pounds. And it had the battery weighed like 3 pounds in itself. And then you had to put a gigantic tape in it. Anyone listening to this that's, over 35 might remember VHS. Anyone younger than that's probably not even going to know what we're talking about. But videotaping yourself is going to be very difficult. You might need to invent a time machine. So let me ask you a question, young miss. My girlfriend says she can't have sex with me while on her period. I've been asking her for a long time now, but she says that she's been on her period for 3 months now. Is that normal?
No, it's not normal.
She probably should see a doctor.
She really needs to see a doctor.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Or stop fucking lying.
Yeah,
One or the other.
Exactly.
See a doctor or stop fucking lying.
Yeah, for sure.
If your period lasts for 3 months or longer, stop fucking lying. Or see your doctor. You might be dying.
Yeah, you might need Plug It Up.
Brought to you by Pfizer. You need Plug It Up, yeah.
Okay.
Plug it up for when your boyfriend wants to have sex and you just want to shut that shit down.
I want a baby at 15. Is this a good idea? I'm in a good relationship for 2 years now, and my family is financially stable.
Babies are a great idea at all times. Everyone knows babies, All right, bitch, play that for 24 hours and see if you like it. You're 15. Get over it.
Yeah.
Have your boyfriend wear a condom. Go get pills. Have sex. Don't have a kid. What are you, nuts?
Your family is financially stable.
What does that mean? Not you.
Not you, darling.
Exactly.
Not you.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
That's good. There's a website if you're interested in adopting cockatoo birds. And it says if you can listen to the screeching, then you're ready to adopt a cockatoo. That's the same thing. Yep.
I heard that for like a couple seconds, and I'm sorry that we subjected you guys to it. We love you guys. If you have children, you're glad that you got past that point. If this is playing in the background with your kids, what kind of a parent are you? Actually, it doesn't matter. A kid at that age doesn't know what's going on. Do you ever feel sorry for your underwear? Someone wants to know, do you ever feel sorry for your underwear?
I do.
Why?
Well, if you're having a stinky day, I feel sorry for my underwear.
I feel sorry for you having to deal with my underwear more than I feel sorry for the underwear itself. I don't feel sorry for the underwear. The underwear has no feelings. It's just cotton, or in our case, a silk lycra blend. How do I tell my girlfriend that she needs to lose weight?
Oh, yeah. You can't.
You can't.
You can't. You can't.
Do you say, hey, you want to go have salad tonight? Do you want to go to the salad bar?
Yeah, you would have to be really like, oh, I'm trying to watch my weight. Can we eat? You'd have to be real slick about it. Otherwise, you're going to have a freaking out, upset girlfriend. So you would have to be like, oh, I really, want to get more fit. I want to do some exercise. Is this something, can you help support me? Can we do this together? That's the way around. You have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, because if you say, honey, it seems like maybe your pants are fitting a little tight, you know what I mean? Or maybe you want to lose weight a little bit. I don't know. You're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a good idea.
I think it's a bad idea.
And now it's time for the Massachusetts Word of the Day, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
How do you like them apples?
All right, Shannon. So what is the Massachusetts Word of the Day for today?
Licka.
Liquor?
Licka.
Licka?
Yeah. Licka.
Lickety splits?
Licka. Like it's Saturday night and we need some hard liquor. We need to party all night. We might even need to go to the Packy.
Oh, no, not again. We're going to the Packy.
Going to the Packy to get some fucking liquor.
But then what happens? You know what happens when you get drunk?
What happens? Oh, you sing real bad?
Oh my God, we went to the Packy and we got liquor.
We got liquor.
We got all liquored up. And then what happened? We patootie. They call me cutie. They call me cutie patootie. No, that's not what you do when you get liquored up. So liquor, huh? That's a good one. Well, I want to do some business. I didn't do it at the top, so I want to let everybody know we have hit some pretty awesome milestones. We're at over 1,000 fans on Facebook, and we're very, very, very happy. I don't know, I think it's 1,100 or something now. I might be exaggerating, but I know it's over 1,000 right now and growing every day. We've got a bunch of new Instagram followers, but the Twitter is anemic. So if you guys have Twitter, please follow us on Twitter. It's usually me tweeting out there, by the way. So, I usually put all kinds of funny tweets, along with memes, along with links to our episodes and all that kind of fun stuff, letting everybody know when we have new stuff out there. So just tweet us at Placebo Pod, and we're on Instagram, same thing, the Placebo Effect Podcast, and on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Placebo Pod. And I want to give a shout out to probably our number one fan right now, Annette Merriman. I hope I'm saying that correct. Annette Merriman of New Mexico, who was not expecting this shout out. I would just like to say thank you so much.
Thank you
for following us on all the different platforms and for being such an awesome fan and listening to all our crazy rants and being so supportive. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
As always, have a week.